Hello everybody, NIO Life here. Today is the first day of Firefly going public in the world, particularly in China. So I want to show you guys what I figured out, why NIO ended up with this kind of setting. They took over the smart tower and the showroom and so on. You guys can see this used to be a smart tower. People who don't know what smart towers are, those are car lifts where they put the cars on it and then they lift this thing all the way up to the top. So every level there can be a car. For example, that can be a car, that can be a car, that can be a car, every level of the car. So when you look at it from the outside, when it's full of smart cars, it looks like this tower, glass tower, is full of cars. And it's very eye-catching. It's pretty cool. But smart is no longer doing that business anymore. I think the most smarts nowadays are bigger too. So I always wondered why. Why did NIO take over such a location? So it looks like the puzzle has been solved. Look at the dimension of the Mini. And I want you to think the Mini basic as a replacement for the NIO Firefly. Today is the Firefly's birthday, so it's all about Firefly today. I don't have a Firefly at hand, so the Mini is the stand-in, okay? That's the stunt car. Okay, so you guys can see the system, how they did it is, this is for the tires. The tires goes on it, and it will, as long as you have the tires can fit, like here, you can see the tires fit into here and there, and the tires here fit here and there, and the car can go in and it can go into different positions all the way to the top, So I can absolutely imagine, and most likely it's going to happen, that once Firefly gets launched here in Europe, all the cars get stacked up, all the Firefly cars get stacked up. And so this tower, instead of being a smart tower like it used to be, it'll be a Firefly tower. This is also the reason NIO did not occupy all directions with the logo. They left enough space for Firefly logo to get down there. That side says NIO, this side doesn't say NIO. So this side probably going to say Firefly or something. Who knows? That's just an idea. This is how the car goes in and out. This is the side where the car gets lifted. That was simple construction, a very simple twist and turning. And this is the turntable. It's the car lift. The turntable just push this thing. The car comes in and out. This is like a rail system. You guys can see. That's the rail system. This is intelligent way to get it done. Look, I parked the car behind. The Mini is parked behind as the stunt car for the Firefly. They are basically same dimensions. I think the Firefly is only like 10 cm or less longer than the two-door Mini. Basically the same size car. You can see they've absolutely fit perfectly into it. And I was told that even the ET5 Touring wouldn't fit in, which makes sense. But here the Firefly would 100% fit in. So this is going to be the presentation of Firefly here in Europe in this kind of towers. I think it's a pretty cool thing to do. Yeah, and it's a brand differentiation between the Firefly and the NIO cars. This is a camper van rental company. So tons of cars are here, and then they have left enough space for a display of new logos. For example, on the side they might put Firefly wording on it, and over there there's enough space for the word Firefly on it. Yeah, I think personally this is gonna happen, but if I'm wrong, don't hold this against me. However, this would be, logically speaking, this is how you should be doing it. It's an eye-catching design, fits the brand of Firefly pretty well, and I think it's going to be a good-looking display. All right, let me make a conclusion video about the Mini. Oh, by the way, here's another favorite car of the Europeans, the Fiat 500. You guys can see it's also a very small car. I'm not even sure if they sell this car in America or in Canada, or maybe in Mexico. This is another small car, and This is a used one for 15,000 euros. And these are very cheap cars. And this is even smaller than the Mini and smaller than the Firefly. I think Firefly is the perfect size car for everything. Let's take a look at the trunk. It's manual, not automatic. I think Firefly's rear hatch is automated. And sitting wise, definitely 4-seater, not 5-seater. And enough space for cables, and that's about it. You definitely cannot sleep in the car, that's for sure. And it's all manual, so you have to manually pull it down like this. Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. Let's see how do I get into the rear seat. There's only 2 doors. So is there a button here? Ah, there's a latch. That's it. Oh, not much space. Oh wait, the seat is going forward. Okay, that's good. Let me try. Let me try if I can get in. It's gonna be a stunt. I got in, but how do I close the door? Somebody else has to close the door. Let me see if I can reach the door. Hard, but reachable. Let me switch off the air conditioning. Okay, air conditioning is off. All right, let's test the seating. This is the space, but that's because the seat is there. Now this is seat, go back to my driving position. Oh, don't squash me. So in my own driving position, this is my driving position, and I drive pretty close to the steering wheel and pretty sporty and close to the front. And this is how much space I have left. I'm rubbing against the back seat. This is not that great. I think I've seen Firefly videos where they have plenty more leg space than this. This is very tight. This is very tight. I wouldn't feel comfortable sitting here for long distance. And the other seat was adjusted by the driver, the passenger, the disgruntled customer of NIO. I will not name his name, but he helped me to film the 170 km/h video in this car, and that's how he has to sit. He's very tall, so I understand why he needs to sit like that. So someone like him sitting in the Mini, that means also there's zero space for anybody sitting behind him. There's zero, absolute zero space. Not even for the baby chair, because you can't access it. Here's a speaker grill, feels a bit cheap, but we already know that. Here's the Mini logo. Okay, but the mid seat is definitely not usable as a seat. Look how tight that is. That's a hand comparison. That's my hand, and that's the space for the seat, for the middle seat. This is your middle seat. 1 hand width. That's your middle seat compared to the rest of the thing. Like 3 hand, 4 hands with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hands for each one on the left and right, for the 1 hand from the guy in the middle. That is impossible. Again, crime against humanity. So, this is the tower for the Firefly, I think. And Union Jack design in the display. Let me conclude the video now. Alright, today so far has been extremely interesting. I came here to make video as a comparison video between the Mini Electric and the Firefly. However, I encountered a very interesting customer frustration experience by a potential NIO customer and NIO test driver. I tried my very best to turn his experience from negative into positive. At the end, he was actually quite enthusiastic about my YouTube channel. He invited me to his house. He's a very friendly person. Shout out to him. He's a very private person, so I'm not going to name his names. And he has a wonderful family. He is going to use the next few days holiday time to spend enough time with his family. And he invited me to his home. He lives near Nürburgring. That is all you need to know. And wonderful person, genuine young man, only 18 years old, first experience with a lot of cars. I really appreciate that he actually didn't just storm off and say, fuck this, and I'm never going to come to NIO ever again. Instead, he actually gave the company plenty of chances. I have the hat off to him, really, truly. Hat off to you, really. Have patience. You have more patience than I do. If the same thing happened to me as a potential customer, I would probably have to walk off and never step foot into another NIO dealership again. But he didn't do that. Instead, he gave you guys plenty of chances. And here's my appeal to all the people from NIO who are watching this video. Please make this right. Please make this right. Maybe send him a gift. Ask him where does he live. Send him a cup, a NIO t-shirt, something. Just to compensate for the time he spent to come here and has to drive home again, and offer him a week of free test drive. Just 1 week, not just 1 day or 2 days. 1 week of free test drive, unlimited test drive for a week. Let him take the car on the spin wherever he wants to go. Unlimited for a week. That's just my suggestion. It's not going to cost the company much, but it's going to change the goodwill and the branding and user experience dramatically. So this is my contribution. If I did everything right, please let me know. If I did anything wrong, please do let me know too. I'm not a salesman. I don't run businesses. I'm an investor. I've always been an investor. I'm just looking at this whole thing from a customer perspective. And I think customer is always the king. It doesn't matter what is the reason you couldn't deliver the product or service or promises. If the customer didn't get what he was promised, you have to compensate for that as the customer service provider, because this industry, car industry, is highly competitive. You're competing on all fronts, not technology alone. But NIO particularly prides itself as a service-oriented business. So every NIO user is valuable. No one is not important. Every NIO user is a VIP. This is the same way I would treat my subscribers. Every one of you who is watching me is a friend. It's a personal friend. It's not somebody who just click a button and say like and subscribe. You're actually becoming my personal friend, and one day I'm going to go around the world in the NIO, and I'm going to come to your house and personally visit you as a personal friend. If NIO can do this with all the customers, then the brand wouldn't die. Because trust me, people are very loyal. When you're loyal to them, they will be loyal back to you as a brand. So this is my contribution to the community for today. And later on, I'm going to go to the NIO house in Düsseldorf to meet a NIO girl there. Hopefully buy a cap or something. We'll see. All right. Have a great day. Bye.